Hey, welcome back to another episode of Addicted to the Q. I am Brian, Sofa King Awesome Barbecue. We've got Brad, who has a headline that says, I like yellow snow. We're keeping the bum, Kevin Hesse, in our hearts. He's off doing work, real life stuff. But our special guest today is John Mann, AKBBQ Man, AK Santa Claus, if you see his beard. So, John, let's just start it off. When did you move to Alaska and why Alaska? It is cold.
Well, I'm originally from Kansas City area and the Missouri side, and lived there a majority of my life. Didn't explore too far away from there. Always had a dream of living in Alaska, and I visited, and that was it. It was on at that point. I got to figure out how to get up here, and so it's been almost 10 years ago. I think a little over nine now. I think that we moved up here. I was teaching school at the time, threw an application out there. Well, a lot of different places. I got hired on in the Anchorage School District and just took the leap. Come up here and we've been loving it ever since.
What's the gas price up there?
Oh, what did I just pay? I just filled up the wife's little grocery getter. I think it was four and a quarter, something like that, 4.25.
Wow.
Oddly enough, diesel is cheaper right now up here than gas is. So thank God I got two diesel trucks
Yeah.
that don't get good very gas mileage. So yeah, it's almost cheaper for me to drive my big F-450 now than it is our little Scooby Doo Subaru.
So what grade did you teach? You don't strike me as a kindergarten teacher.
That's the funny part about it. When I was down in Missouri, I went back to, I was coaching at the high school level. Let's just back up to that. And was encouraged to get my teaching degree. And when I went to college the first time, I went to have a good time and play football. And ended up down at Central Missouri State, down in Warrensburg, Missouri, and played Division II football down there. And anyway, I didn't study a whole lot. And so in my 40s, I actually went back to college and got my teaching degree. And then my first teaching job was in Savannah, Missouri, actually, and teaching high school and teaching building trades of all things. And really, I enjoyed it. I just had this itch to get to Alaska, and so I took a elementary PE position, well, actually elementary health position. I was certified in health and PE, and I took an elementary health position. And funny story about that on my interview. The principal that was interviewing me was actually from from Kansas, and so I had interviewed first time for a PE position because that's what I really wanted to do. And but I was certified in health. She called me back, said, "Good news, bad news. You didn't get the PE job because my health teacher took it, but I want you to come teach health." And my question was elementary health. I said, "This is going to sound really unprofessional, but what the hell do they teach in elementary health? We didn't have it in Missouri." And she laughed and said, "I know, right?" Anyway, so I went from teaching high school kids how to build houses to teaching K through 6, how to brush your teeth and stay away from drugs and, you know, sex ed and all that kind of stuff. It was, it was a challenge, but the kindergartners, oh man, they're a blast and a pain in the butt all in the same time. And
Oh, yeah.
it's like trying to herd cats. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I say.
they're just everywhere.
I
All right, I got a visit from a bumblebee here. All right.
I always tell my kids or my kids teacher, there's no way I could do it. The principal would come in, they all be tied to their chairs. There's no.
Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's a different world. I'm definitely old school. I'm only 58, but I'm a high mileage 58. but old school mentality, and I really had to adjust. And I reached out to my fellow kindergarten teachers to kind of give me some instruction and really learned. It was a learning process that first year for sure, but eventually transferred into physical education, got to teach PE classes. I stayed at the K-12 and K through 6. And I finally had enough and retired. Got out of there just before COVID, thank God. And anyway, yep. So that's what brought me. That was my ticket to Alaska. Let's put it that way. That's how I got up here and got involved, and we've taken off since then. But yeah, that's kind of a little history.
So I noticed we interviewed you with Brett when you were down there for World Foods as an SCA rep.
Yep.
How many months do you go out of Alaska? Do you do that every winter where you go out of Alaska for 3 or 4 months and then come back, or how do you do? What's your schedule?
They call it snowbirding, and this was our first year doing it. We're retired, so I call it semi-retired. We can survive, stay at home, without making any money. But this time of the year is when I, try to make as much money as I can, and doing handyman services, stuff like that. And wife works a little bit of part time, and but this was the first time we did it. We did 6 months. We'd been down for 6 weeks or so before, but this year we committed to trying it and seeing if we liked it. And we did 6 months. We did 12 different states and 10,000 miles driving.
Wow.
And 90% of that was barbecue or steak or whatever related, right?
Yeah.
Contests and seminars and classes and whatever we could, whatever we could get involved in.
Now, I saw where you are an SCA rep. Are you a KCBS rep also?
That's correct. The story behind that is I originally got into kind of the barbecue competition scene 4 or 5 years ago. And up here, they had a Alaska Barbecue Association that was running the comps and stuff up here, and they loosely used KCBS rules and regulations and kind of had their own. But when we got involved, there were several of us that were concerned. We'd go to contests, and it was like, all right, how are we judging this week? The cooks were like, all right, what's the rules this week? And it was just really inconsistent, and that was just kind of threw a red flag to me that something kind of needed to be done with that. And so I started checking in with KCBS. I became a certified barbecue judge for KCBS and explored the option of becoming a rep with them. And we dove in and got that all done in 1 year. We had to do a bunch of traveling and a bunch of training with that. Met a ton of great people. As we were in the middle of that, we started having SCA contests up here, and I was involved judging in the very first one. Brett and Ken all come up here, and we had that contest, and we had no clue what was going on. Most of us it was all brand new to us, and we'd just gone through the class, and we had probably 60% of the people that were competing were from out of state, Arkansas, Florida, Texas. I'm missing a few, but some big names came up. And then we had another one that they came up to, and that's when Ken and Brett started begging me to be a rep, be the Alaska rep. And I turned them down. I said, no. I said, I want to concentrate trying to figure out KCBS stuff first, right? And get that down pat, and then we'll talk about it. And so they kept begging me on that trip. And I jokingly say they took us out and got us drunk, and we agreed. We went to dinner, had a few cocktails, and we kind of worked out some details. And so we jumped into it, and that's been a whirlwind also. all the way to the point now that we're actually, I was the rep for Bullhead City, Arizona contest this year, and we've just, it's been fun. It really has. The SCA Worlds first, not this year, but last year I was down there. They got me up on stage and we're messing around, shooting balls out with a slingshot out into the crowd, and we just hit it off real well. And again, just the people are just fantastic. And so we've been doing them both now for, I think it's going on 3 years. And it's kind of hard at times. It really is. I mean, I gotta kind of take my hat off and look at the patch. Am I repping SCA or KCBS today?
Yeah.
They've got a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences. Rules are different, terminology is different, and so it's been a challenge. But up here, we need it. We needed somebody to take the horns and actually run things. It was just too expensive to fly Brett and Ken back and forth up here all the time. If we wanted to have 3 or 4 contests a year, and we had 4 last year, SCA, 3 KCBS.
Nice.
How it worked out. So
do you organize too, or I've been seeing on social media? Do you have like a website? Like, tell us more about what you have going on.
all right. Well, there's a whole bunch of different irons in the fire right now. A year ago, my wife Michelle and I started a nonprofit, and it's called AK for Alaska, BBQ for barbecue, and then INC, so Alaska Barbecue Incorporated. And the primary reason for doing it is to try to get youth involved and interested in barbecue, grilling, smoking. Hopefully get them in the culinary side of it, interested in competing, in different food sports. I usually use the terminology of barbecue, barbecue contest, but that's what everybody kind of calls it. But, when we're cooking steak, it's really not barbecue, right? So we try to refer to it as food sports. And, there's other things involved with all the ancillary programs that we do. It seems like that's almost as popular, if not more popular than the steak and the 4 meats and KCBS, right? It's all the extras. But anyway, so we started that, and then right now we're in the process. You ask, am I an organizer? Officially, my answer is no, because I cannot be an organizer and a rep for the same contest. Okay, do we do a lot of organizing? Absolutely, we have to. There's just last year we spent hours and hours and hours, my wife and I, and another couple that helps us out a lot, trying to build it, just trying to build the program up here, get people to have contests, get everybody up here that was holding contests was brand new and didn't know anything about having sanctioned contests. And so we got some waivers through KCBS, and SCA gave us the keys to it and said, you do what you need to do to build it. And so we took off, and we're doing the majority of the work on all of it, as far as the background logistics and all that stuff. Matter of fact, I spent about 3 hours today working on our Alaska State Championship location. We're having I've already got it on the books and scheduled, and I'm having trouble with my location right now. So I've got to shift gears in the middle of it. So officially, no, I'm not an organizer, but we definitely are involved in every aspect of that. We can talk more about the nonprofit if you want, kind of what it's all about, but that's kind of a big picture.
Is that nonprofit? Is that the AKBBQ Inc.? Is that your nonprofit?
Yeah, that's correct. That's the new website we just got finished. My first website ever. Shout out to my son. He does it for a living. He got us going, and if any of you have ever been involved in it, there's a ton more work involved than I thought there ever was. You
Yeah.
know, just the simple things, you know, how people can pay and how people can, you know, get in touch with you, and just
Yeah.
pictures have to be a certain size and location. You know, it was crazy. So I have a whole new respect for my son and the people that do that type of thing. I know just enough about technology to get on StreamYard here without any complications.
Hey, you got
is it
that name.
akbarbecueinc.com? Is that how they can find you on that?
Our official website is akbbq.org.
Okay.
So
Okay.
AK for Alaska, BBQ, and .org.
Was this
Try to
whole
keep it
found?
as short as we possibly. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Just try to keep it as short as possible. You know, for everybody, and some other options were taken already, and so that's what we came up with. AKBBQ.org. It has all of our links to the nonprofit stuff, things like that. There's not all of our contests are on there yet, but our state championship is listed on there because it is a fundraiser for our nonprofit. So
Maybe I got to shrink mine. Sofa King, awesome products.
yeah, I
When they see the YouTube, they'll see me laughing when you said keep it as short as possible. I'm like, damn, mine's like a mile long.
well, that was advice from the professionals. Keep it short, keep it
Yeah,
simple, stupid, right?
yeah.
That's
By the
like
way,
a couple.
a shout out to you, Brian. For that has got to be the most awesome product name out there. Michelle O'Gwen announced that at ABBQA
That was
conference
great.
and just totally blew it.
She
And
did too. I
she
watched
turned
that.
beat. Oh, it was hilarious. She turned beet red, and
That's the only
the
reason
whole
why it's
the
named
crowd
that.
went wild. It was fun.
But with your foundation, you said you got into barbecue about 4 to 5 years ago, like right when you were semi-retiring. Were you
Yeah,
doing
and that
comps before that at all, or
I have never been a competition cook.
okay,
I had got into judging. Matter of fact, my goal this year, um, I I want to try to practice enough to compete in a steak cook-off association event. I would like to try to. I've got so many invites to, hey, come cook with us whenever you want to, and I think this whole, if we do pretty sure we're going to do the snowbird thing again, and if we do that, my goal this year, I believe, is try to cook with as many different teams as I can.
yeah,
And I mean, just for the knowledge, you know,
yep,
and just if nothing else, I mean, I don't ever intend on being, sorry, state birds. Here we go. The Just trying to learn, and just,
yeah.
just for the camaraderie too,
Well,
getting to know some of these people.
yeah. Look, Brad and
I've
I up
met.
if you come in town.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely will. We would love to. I would love to get involved in that.
So
There
for
really
everyone
are
that can
mosquitoes flying
see,
around. I'm not.
he's
Well,
swatting mosquitoes. He's
it's
not
too
just
cold for
crazy.
mosquitoes there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. What's that?
It's too cold for mosquitoes there still, ain't it?
No, it's in the mid 50s today. I still have snow in the yard and piles, but you got to realize we had record snowfall this year, over
Wow,
11 feet of snowfall
holy
this
cow!
year, which is just crazy. I mean, I had over 4 feet of snow on my roof at some
That's
point,
what
and
that's what my buddy said. He opened the door and he had to shovel it so he could walk out because it was up even with his door to his house. And then it all
it
melted
can.
and it snowed that much again.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
it's just it never snows that much at one time, I mean but it's you get drifts and things like that, but a big snow, we can still get 18, 24 inches of snow at one time, which is crazy. um it's also just absolutely beautiful, at the same time. I did not miss shoveling and snow blowing and plowing. You guys spend all your time in the summer mowing. I don't have a fancy lawnmower, but I do have a lot of snow removal equipment. So
Yeah.
just a different ball game.
That's
So, are
great.
you going to do that next year, or are you going to do the same thing you did this year and take a little adventure?
We're leaning towards it heavily. There's a few things up in the air that we can talk about here in a little bit that I'll find out here this next couple weeks of what our involvement will be, and that kind of will determine what we do. More than likely, we'll come down and be based out of the Casey area probably um, for at least part of the winter. But we haven't made 100% commitment on it yet. A lot of it is financing, actually.
Yeah.
It's expensive to do, and
You can go teach
if we
preschool.
can, well, no,
No.
no, I'm okay without that. But yeah, no, there's ways, and
Yeah.
we're working on some stuff with it, but
Now, does your
we're waiting on Addicted
nonprofit?
to the Q to start funding all of our travel. That's what we need to do.
I
I can be a
mean,
roving reporter.
We'll have to talk to our newest sponsor, Scout Pest Control, and So Fucking Awesome Products.
No, they're
Okay.
out. They just spent their money on a new truck. We're done.
Oh,
There you go. At least I got a truck to drive. That's cool.
Yeah, there you go. At least you got a truck for the winter now down here.
Yeah.
Does your nonprofit? You said that you're trying to bring like our youth into barbecue. Like Brad and I, we're doing like Missouri High School Barbecue Association, getting the schools involved and all that. Are you taking your foundation, being an affiliate some way, some form with like NBBQA, KCBS, MIM, anything like that?
We are not attached yet. Some of the stuff that we're working on, there's a bunch of them out there. Your guys' high school association, the National High School Barbecue Association, the World Junior Barbecue League, and Future of Q, and all. There's so much going on, and we got our toe in a lot of it. It made contacts with a lot of it. My goal up here, let me dive into it a little bit for our nonprofit. So what our goal is to get the youth interested enough to want to start competing, start trying to have some high school teams, have a similar situation like you've got there in Missouri. I'd love to make it down to the world championship there in Branson coming up in June, but I've got a comp up here we're going to be in the middle of. So, but anyway, there's several different things. Classes, we're gonna hold classes. We're gonna do demos, so live demos with the kids. We can get into that for Memphis in May, but some of that's going on. That I've been invited to the state fair this year to actually with our nonprofit and hold a little bit of a class and have live demos with kids, and competitions. We sponsor all the kids queues up here. We're trying to switch it from kids queues to youth barbecue contest. High school kids, they don't want to be called kids anymore. And so I'm trying to switch the terminology a little bit in my head, but it's hard. But so the kids queue stuff, the youth contest that we're gonna run, we've got right now 1, 2, 3 on the books that we're gonna be sponsoring right now. Hopefully, I can get some standalone ones. Most of these are affiliated with SCA comps or KCBS comps, and so anyway, if we can spark that interest and get them interested enough to, hey, let's work on the competition side of stuff. Let's take it a little more seriously, and getting the sponsorship behind it to make it, just make it attractive, to them. Hey, if I can win $500 by cooking a pork chop, let me give it a shot. And, right there, you guys know it. The soon as you win that first gold medal, you're hooked, and that's kind of what we want to do. I'm hoping, I have flying out Friday. So the 10th, I'll be down in Kansas City. But as soon as I land, I got to get off and find a Wi-Fi spot because I've got a Zoom call with all the culinary instructors in one of the bigger school districts up here. They have asked me to speak to them about all of our program and all of that. So trying to get those guys involved is huge.
Yeah.
Because, if I can get them behind it, we can start showing up at schools and, doing a barbecue class, and getting them into it. And it's like, hey, we're going to have, a high school, standalone high school barbecue contest,
Yeah.
or maybe have a middle school division
next time or wherever.
Exactly. And yeah, we were down at NBPQA and I had the high school team that was down there do a shout out video for so that I could play up here in my classes. And, hey, just challenging them to put a team together and come compete against them, So that's kind of the overall thing. Our biggest needs right now are like everybody is funding. Getting equipment up here is tough. Even if I get somebody to donate a drum or a smoker or whatever, it's cost me a couple $100 just to get it shipped up here. So trying to get some of that involved is tough. And that's probably our biggest need right now is sponsorships. I've got a ton of them out there that, it's how we want to help. We want to help. We want to help. This is a challenge and a call out to all you guys that said that, and you know who you are. Step up and hit the donate button on the website there. It's cool to like all the stuff we post, but it's a bigger like when you hit that donate button. Even if I can get it, 100 people to do $10, it all adds up. So that's all we're looking for, and hopefully that'll start working out. There's a lot of product donations that have come in and that are coming in for rubs and spices, stuff like that. Some equipment and things like that I've been told are on the way, and so that side of it for the nonprofit, it's working well. And
Well, as I was Facebook stalking you, I don't know how Brad stalks people, but when I was stalking you, I noticed you have a little something coming up at Memphis in May.
Yeah, I just posted. Was that today or yesterday? Just announced. I've been waiting for Kel and Janet with NBBQA to kind of say, okay, it's fine to publicize it. I've known about it now since before we left Kansas City to come back home. So basically what we're doing is we are being brought down by Future Q, which is affiliated with NBBQA and, Barbecue Magazine. They're also that they're having us basically be in charge and running the kids demos. So Thursday, we got 3 demos on Thursday, 3 on Friday, and then I think there's 3. We're trying to have 3 on Saturday. So we've got Riley Steak Princess is doing one. Ray Barker, Little Gringa, is doing another one. Miles Gwen, like I'm probably butchering that last name, but Miles is going to cook. That's Brandon and Michelle's son. Brady, I believe it's Dopp or Dope, D-O-P-P. I have not yet
Rob. Rob's son. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I have not met that young man yet. I'm looking forward to that. Caden Blake, of course, is gonna be down there. Now, most of those guys, the reason we don't have anybody for Saturday is Saturday they're bouncing over to the big contest at Smoke Slam. Their World Junior Barbecue League is putting on a $25,000 purse for Kids Cube. And so, yeah, that's amazing. So Melissa Cookston, we're scheduled to meet with her actually while we're down. And kind of discuss some options there too. But anyway, they asked me to fill in one of the spots on Saturday, so I'm going to do a little demo and make it Alaska themed, and I'm actually going to be bringing down some reindeer sausage,
Nice.
and we're cook some of that and just play around with that and have some fun. And it was the easiest. They wanted me to bring moose meat, and that's like asking somebody for their firstborn child to donate moose meat. So it's that wasn't going to happen. So that was the option we come up with is reindeer sausage.
Well, really, if you think about it, though, Alaska would have a lot of potential for high school because you got the elements and you got the outdoor cooking, and there's not a whole heck of a lot, I would think, up there. I mean, you have sports and stuff, but you still don't have because you're kind of a little bit secluded. Like there's some places you can't even get to by road, or so they say in Alaska. So you would think
there is.
So you would think outdoor cooking would take off if it ever got started up there.
I think it will do well. There's a little bit different challenges during the school year. It's during the summer. There's so much to do up here that it's hard to get kids to slow down long enough. They start football way early. About a month earlier than they do the lower 48 down there, and baseball season is going on, just all kinds of stuff, but sports. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to give the option to, some of those kids, I guess I don't want to say that don't play sports because there's, you can play sports and have a culinary desire also, but, maybe give an alternative option for somebody that wants to compete, that has an interest, and possibly, we need a good barbecue place up here. So I'm hoping we inspire a young cook to open up a barbecue spot up here.
Didn't you say you had a retirement plan, Brian? You could open up a barbecue restaurant up there.
Yeah, if it was warmer.
We got heaters. Stay close to the pit, man. You'll be all right.
Do I get that free Santa day then for you to come in?
Yeah, I'll come in and serve reindeer sausages from Santa Claus.
That might traumatize some kids, though. Here's some of Santa's reindeers, and we're
eating. Yeah, stay tuned for Memphis in May.
Yes.
We're gonna have a little fun with that, but we'll see. Hopefully we don't offend anybody.
So what do you cook on in Alaska? Like, did you flew back home and back from KC, so you didn't bring a pit down with you to cook on or anything? What do you have up at your house?
I don't own an offset yet. That's my goal. Again, even the shipping to get one up here, I'm probably going to end up having to build one. And only problem with that is I don't know how to weld yet, so that's an issue. As far as one of your pre-questions you told me you thought you might ask me was this question. So what equipment do I have? Right now at my house, I have an old Pro 34 Traeger. I just got through rebuilding it when I got back home because it was it shot craps while I was gone. So anyway, got through putting new controls and stuff on it. It's hopefully good for the long haul now.
11 foot of snow is going to make a lot of stuff shoot craps.
It was under a protective roof cover, but still, yeah, it's I have let's see, Weber kettles. I have eight Weber kettles. Now 6 of those are ones that are basically for my kids' Q stuff. So they're in my storage shed, all broke down in boxes. But I've got 2 personal ones of my own that I have. I've got a 22-inch WSM that is brand new in a box. I haven't even put it together yet. We bought it last year because I had a team flying up here from Costa Rica that wanted to compete, and the contest that they were coming up for ended up canceling, and so I bought that WSM because that's what they were used to using, and I still haven't put it together yet. So anyway, I want to get it because I want to learn how to cook on it too. But oh, my go-to favorite lately is my 36-inch Blackstone. I've been doing a lot of griddle work here the last few weeks. Just simple that crack hamburgers, smash burger thing that's been going on. I had to try that out, and that was amazing. I loosely followed the Meat Church Matt Pittman's recipe there that he had on his latest video, and it's a good one, man. Try it; it's good. I have 6 drum smokers, Super 55 drum smokers. You familiar with those?
Yep.
My buddy, with smokerbuilder.com, Frank Cox, a shout out to him. He is one of our corporate sponsors for our nonprofit, and so he has worked out a pretty good program for me. I am on the process of trying to get 6 more built, so I'd have a total of 12, and those are going to be used for um, classes, for the kids' classes, and youth competitions. But I'm also using those for when Sofa King Awesome decides to come up here and cook a comp. I can rent him 3-4 drums, a tent, a cooler, and a table, and all that for $200-300. Take that money, put it back into the buying more equipment for the kids, right? So that way you guys could, people that want to come up and compete have equipment available and to do it. I've had a couple people do it already last year, but I'm working on that. Working with Frank. You guys know anybody that can sponsor some shipping? I can. I'm trying to get 12 of his kits and drums up here. So anybody out there that sees this can hook me up, holler at me.
Throw it in the back of your truck, Brian, and drive it up there.
There you go. Yep.
4-wheel drive.
You want to drive up here? I'll fly you home. How's that?
How long drive is it? How many hours is it from KC?
Well, from Kansas City, you're about 3,500 miles, so it'll take you a week. 5 hard days, 10, 12-hour days driving.
Oh, no.
And so driving up for a comp, you got a week to get up here, the comp, and then a week to get home, and that's not any vacation time at all. So that's why we're working on getting all the equipment so you can fly up here, and it's here. We got it set up, ready to go. And, you guys could cook and then go spend the vacation and enjoy it. Can't forget my Hasty Bake HB 250 Pro. That is my SCA. It is unused so far. And that was actually donated by the 2022 points champion, Sandy Brown. She donated, she won it in the contest, not this year, but the year before. And just blew my mind. She came up and asked me if I give you this, can you get it home? And I was in tears, man. It just kick-started, what we're doing. And I've got it up here, and it's, just amazing. It's, with all the grill grates and the kits and everything that were in it, it's easily $800-900, maybe $1,000 worth of stuff. So, Sandy, if you see this at any point, thank you, dear. I appreciate that. It was really cool.
How was it down at when you were on non-vacation, summertime, wintertime, whatever, when you were down here? How was it with your buddy at the Super 55? I noticed you were helping build some and having some doing things with them.
Yeah, I went to Frank's a couple of times. And matter of fact, I think I'm going to swing through again on this trip. And sorry, I got a kid on a 4-wheeler out here. It's just Frank and Lisa. They're just amazing people. We reconnected. We knew each other about 25 years ago. We actually ran into him not this summer, but or not this fall, but the last fall down in Oklahoma City at a comp. He was cooking down there with a buddy and what's it, Bartlow's barbecue, and ran into him and we got to talking and introduced myself. I was talking to him and I told him my name. I said, hey, I'm John Mann. He said, from Alaska. I'm originally from. It said something about the heat because it was hot. And I told him I was originally from Kansas City, and he's like, "Oh, are you that John Mann?" I didn't know how to respond. I'm like, "Well, do I owe you money?" and, and so he turned around and told some of the guys that were standing there with him. He said, "The last time I saw this guy, we were laying next to each other in a cornfield." And of course, as you can imagine, that eyebrows kind of went up. Well, we were goose hunting together, laying in a cornfield. So anyway, we have a mutual friend. It's his best friend. It was a good friend I went to church with, and we did goose hunt several times together. And anyway, that was just a fun story. But their business down there is just taken off. They've recently um, gone into business or connected their businesses with oh dang it, Jeremy Yoder, Mad Scientist Barbecue. They collaborated on a offset that's really affordable for an offset. This thing is it's a kick butt machine. If you call it a machine, I don't know, but anyway, offset. It's only like $2,500, and it's built quality, like Frank, all of Frank's stuff. So anyway, doing that, and he's got a whole bunch of other things going on. His Super 55s were just going nuts. He released the new rib hanger that's really cool. You guys ought to check out too. And anyway, so that I think I'm going to swing by. I don't really work for him. I'm kind of a dealer up here. If anybody wants one up here, I can work it out, but I don't get paid to do it. So it's I'm just helping him out. He's helped us out, and those things are just amazing. Um, my son bought two, and I bought two kits, and we put them together. You probably saw that video,
Mhm.
Ryan. That we put a couple of the cool ones together, the fancy paint jobs and the stickers and all that. I'm actually picking those up in Kansas City on Saturday and dragging those down to Tennessee because the weekend after Memphis in May is the KCBS World Invitational in Lebanon, Tennessee. And
Yep.
I have my team from here flying down, and I'm going to sponsor them with my drums.
So you're going to be
They're
down there?
going to, yeah, I'm going to be
I will
down
see
there.
you there.
All right, cool. Well, yeah,
I'm
we'll have
going
to
that
get
week.
together and have a. So yeah, that we were debating on whether to go or not, and they had other plans, but once they told me that their sponsor decided they would fly him down and compete, we just decided to bite the bullet and get in the room's not the cheapest thing over there in Lebanon. But we got is it Lebanon or Lebanon? Lebanon.
I don't
I don't know
know.
how they
It's like
I don't
30
know how
minutes
they
outside
pronounce
of
it in Tennessee.
Nashville.
In Tennessee, yeah. So
I think the rooms
anyway,
were like a choice.
we're looking forward to that. We're gonna we get to hang out with a few days for the Brandon and Michelle O'Gwen in between the contests. So I'm looking forward to that. See if they can teach me a little bit while we're there.
Yeah, why not?
I think our hotel is like 8 minutes from the place, but it was still like there was two choices. One was like 125 and one was like 140. They weren't the cheapest in the world, but they looked nice.
Yeah. We did the same thing. I think we're staying at the Oksana Lodge or something. That's
Yeah.
my wife. My wife's good at all that logistics stuff. She can figure out how to use miles and all kinds of stuff to make it cheaper. And I don't know. I don't understand that whole airline miles thing.
Yeah, we
But
don't talk logistics with me. if you travel with me, you book your hotel like 3 hours before you're camping for the night. Like, let's just go.
No.
Just roll with it. Yeah,
You think
I've done
that
that a
until you
couple
can't get a
times, and
hotel
it
room.
ended up. We did that on the way home from the Jack. We were coming back, and we decided to not get the room for the last night because we thought we'd try to make it back a few hours. Well, then our teams, all the teams that we were involved in, all got calls, and it was like, all right, we got to stay here and party. And so we hung out, and then we didn't get out of there till 10, 11 o'clock, and we tried to find a motel, and everything was booked except some. Well, we went to one, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have laid in the bed if it could save my life. So we just like, nope, went back, got our money, and we ended up driving all the way to Nashville before we stopped that night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and almost spent the night in the car.
Hey, I mean,
That,
you got to do what you got to do.
yeah. We kind of pushed it on that one a little bit too much.
Yeah. We do it. We have fun. We came back from Gulf Shores, and it was during the bowl games. So when we were stopping, it's like, no hotel room. Go down the street, no hotel room. I'm like, what is going on? They're like, oh, we got the bowl game going on. I was like, well, crap. We ended up driving like 4 more hours to where we could get a hotel. I was like, I don't care. I'll keep driving. Like, I'll go through the night if we need to.
So you book ahead of time.
Yeah, it is more convenient, and that's what I hate is when you book ahead of time and the reviews just don't add up to what you get when you get there. It's like, all right, we started making decisions like, all right, we're just going to spend a little bit more and not try to get by on that $70 or $80 a night place because it ends up paying for it with a crappy bed or dirty or whatever.
I'm not picky. I worked construction on the road, and I stayed in $30 a night hotel rooms before. I'm not picky. Like the same
a night or an hour.
$30 a night.
I think that's more an hour.
$30. It was about the same kind of place. Like I had the same meth under my bed for about 6 weeks in a row in the same room, and we went to a La Quinta in Jackson, and you walked in, it just smelled like mold and like somebody I think died on the floor, and we walked right back out. We're like, no, but the pictures look nice on the website, but no.
Oh yeah. They pulled them down off of Google or something.
Something
posted it somebody else's deal. But sorry, I'm gonna pour a little adult beverage here for Joy.
Hey, we're used to seeing you with that in your hand.
Yeah. Are you guys Irish whiskey fans? I don't know if you can see it.
What is that?
This one's actually they call it PX edition. I've never had it. I found it when we were down in Kansas City. One I've been chasing. Pedro starts with an X. Ximenez, Ximenez. I don't know. It's supposed to be, it finished in wine barrels. So I nice. Really enjoy those. I enjoy those alternative finish whiskeys.
Takes a little bit of that edge off.
Oh yeah.
So how long are you gonna grow out that beard? Are you about ready close to shave it? Do you shave it in the summertime when the Alaskan heat hits you?
I shaved yesterday, man. It's just
about like Santa.
Yeah, no. That's usually one of the first questions that get asked is how long you been growing it, and my candid answer is about 5 years. I had a kind of a longer goatee and then started growing and letting it grow, and I've cut several inches off of it several times. I took a job after I retired from teaching. They asked me to trim it up a little bit, so I cut 4 inches of it off, and then I had it down. It was down to my belly button, and we were down at the Jack. This is actually a funny story. So we were down at the Jack, and over at the Squire tent. I got nominated to be a Squire several years ago, and that was the first time I got to visit. So took advantage of my Squire privileges, and we went to the Squire party and having a good old time. And they had people there giving free haircuts. And I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. Say I got my haircut at Jack Daniel's distillery, right? And so sat down and cut my hair, and he's like, you want to trim my beard? And I said, well, I usually only let one lady up here that's the only one that's ever done anything with it. And um, he said, well, I understand. And I said, well, I tell you what, if you want to take an inch or so off and just kind of shape it, make it look a little better, because it was getting what they call terminal length. It was basically dying towards the end, and it was as long as it's going to get, and kind of scraggly looking. But so he laid me back, and he cut it, and well, sucker cut like 8 inches off of it.
Wow.
And I was pissed, but there's nothing you can do. And anyway, I even paid the guy a tip. I don't know why the hell I did that, but but anyway, super nice guy. There was a communication error there. So anyway, it's officially been growing out since the Jack. Um, It'll probably take me to get that 8 inches. It'll take me a couple of years to get it back. So it was a major hit, but anyway, it is what it is at this point, and it's definitely a conversation piece. Everywhere I go, it's
Tasmanian
usually
devil that, like, put your beard goo in and have like 2 horns coming down.
it always splits on me like this in the wind, and that's what I tell everybody. I can grow hair anywhere on my body except for right up here. So I just tell everybody I'm working on a comb over, so it's but no, I enjoy it. It's actually a pain in the ass most of the time. It takes me longer to do this than it does the rest of everything else, in the shower. It
Yeah.
gives me a whole new respect to women with long hair. I don't know how they do it.
No. I'll be darned. That's crazy.
Well, Brian, you got questions?
Do you have any products, any rub sauces, anything you've done on your own?
I have not. We explored at NBBQA. We explored with Sucklebuster's program and about putting my label on some rubs, and basically all I would be interested in doing it for would be just for a fundraiser, just a all-purpose rub, a little SPG rub or something like that, and just something to, if we can make $4 or $5 a bottle on it for our nonprofit, thinking about doing that, but haven't done that yet. I've got too many other irons in the fire right now, and now that we have the website and a way to actually do something like that, we're gonna market some T-shirts, and it's all just fundraising stuff. I don't want to get into the T-shirt business or the making rubs and sauces, and that's, I try it with my content. I try, there's so many people out there doing the same thing. It doesn't, when everybody talks about me doing more content, it's like, well, I could show you how to trim a brisket or cook a brisket, but my God, there's people out there way more qualified than I am. And there's 5,000 of them doing the same thing on social media. So, some of the ideas we're having is a little bit different. If you haven't seen the video we did on the Oklahoma octopus, you need to try to find that. That was fun. I was down playing with Caden Blake in Oklahoma when I had that idea, and he wanted to do a braid, and I'm like, man, I think let's kick it up another notch. Let's do this. And so anyway, we started rolling with it, and we kind of did the trial run down there with him, and got so much positive feedback on it. I just decided my son wanted to do a professional video, and we spent like 8 hours, and he's got like tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment for audio and 4K video and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. We had a blast doing it. But anyway, so that's content. I'm more interested in doing something, like I've got some sheep meat in my freezer. I want to do something with that and Alaska themed. My goal this summer is to video catching a salmon, bringing it to shore, cleaning it, filleting it, and put it right on the grill
Ocean to
and
table.
and grilling it all all in the same
Yeah.
5 minutes or whatever. Um, and I'd like to do it if I can get somebody a little more famous than me to come up and do it with me. Yeah, it would go over a lot better. But Mark Lambert, come on, buddy. Come on up. A
Ocean to
lot
table.
of people. Yeah. So I had the opportunity. If you guys know who Joe Wilson is, he's on his way up here, but he's flying up here the same day I'm flying down there. So we did it again. Same thing happened last year. We just had too many schedule conflicts. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys know who he is, Joe Wilson?
I haven't. I don't know.
Look him up. I tell you how to find him. Look up World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off.
Okay.
It's a real deal. I thought it was a bunch of crap, and then I went to that. It was the first contest we went to this in Arkansas, and had an absolute blast. I ended up cooking all day with Mark Lambert down there, and just ran into a whole bunch of barbecue famous people is what I call them. But that, look him up. Joe's a good guy. A lot of fun. He's crazy.
Well, Brian, we're at 56 minutes and 45 seconds, just to let you know. So,
No.
Have you got a minute for me to
Yeah.
tell you about what events we have going on?
Yeah,
Yes.
go for it.
I
Let's
wrote
go ahead
them all
and finish
down.
it
Yeah, some of them are ours. We're involved in all of them, but gotta get my notes out here. First event for us, sanctioned event for us this year is June 1st down in Soldotna, Alaska. It's a master series, KCBS. There's a kids queue that we're sponsoring down there for that. So that June 1st, you can find that one on KCBS website. Then the next one, rid of the mosquito, sorry, July 6th, we have an SCA event. It's a fundraiser for the Palmer, Alaska High School, their football and hockey program called Battle of the Moose, July 6th. And then our big one, I invite you guys, Brian, you need to come up and cook this one. July 26th and 27th. It's the Alaska State Championship. So it'll be the state championship for SCA on Friday with a taco ancillary. That's in Eagle River, Alaska. It's my hometown. So we got SCA on Friday with an ancillary Master Series KCBS on Saturday with the Kids Queue. And it'll be the Kids Q State Championship too. It's a Jack qualifier. There'll probably be less than 15 teams here, but it still qualifies for the Jack. So if you know anybody that's wants to go cook the Jack, he got a 1 in 15 chance of making it. It's an automatic entry, whoever wins it. Also the KCBS World Invitational too. The last one we have is August 10th. It's again down in Soldotna, Lakeside Falls, an absolutely beautiful place. It's an SCA double. They've got a wing contest and a dessert, I believe a dessert ancillary. Dessert or appetizer, I can't remember that one. But that's a good chance for a golden ticket on that one because there'll probably be less than 20 teams competing. John Green, you guys know the Greens. The Greens are coming up. Robert Perkins is coming up for that one. So there'll be some heavy hitters up here too. But I would say by August, those guys have a pretty good chance they've already got their golden tickets. So even if you come in third, you're in good shape with that. But yeah, that's what we got on the books right now. There's more stuff brewing, but right now it's kind of everything we got. Anybody that's interested in any of those, need help with logistics, give me a shout out, on social media or website, whatever, get in touch. We've got
Definitely.
equipment.
Well, that sounds great. We're out of time. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, John. Thank you
Yes,
so
thanks,
much.
John.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Have
it.
a good one.